Okay, good morning. Happy holidays to everybody out there celebrating the various Christmas and Hanukkah and all those holidays. And New Year's coming up. Uh, my sister got me a couple of video log components to help me with my video logs. I was actually thinking about calling it quits on the video logs because I feel like I'm a lot more comfortable in front of a camera. It just took me, doing it for about 10 days straight and getting comfortable in front of a camera and hearing my voice and listening to myself talk, and it wasn't that bad. But it turns out maybe I'll just keep doing this because, well, if she got me that stuff, I suppose I should keep doing it for a little bit. Uh, Today's topic, Katie Ledecky. I was reading and she was in a pool in COVID with a UCLA former, I think, a gold medal winner, but I'm not sure. But his name is Todd Spiker, and she used the backyard pool with Todd Spiker, and she talks about uh, working with the kids in that pool and working with the Spiker family's children, and uh, it was really nice. And this takes me into another topic, which I was just thinking about right now, but I'm reading a book by Matthew Mconaghey, and I'm reading another book called Clanlands with Graham McTavish and Sam Heughan, who are actors from the show Outlander. And I was kind of struck by how I'm kind of drawn towards Katie Ledecky's mind more than the men's mind. And then I was thinking, like, am I more drawn to? I kind of in my life I've been more drawn to women's minds than men's minds a little bit, and maybe to some extent, I don't know how accurate that is, but to some extent, I think that could be a little bit true. And I was just, for instance, in the men's books, they're kind of chaotic. Like in Sam Hugo's, they're talking about being. Graham McTavish is talking about being surrounded by adrenaline junkie men, and they have a couple dogs that he names Adolf and Goebbels, and they're going into a boat to sniff out dolphins, and supposedly the dogs are going to find the dolphins, and just seems kind of like chaotic or whatever. And I enjoy the books or whatever. I'm not saying I don't enjoy the books, but they're funny. But there is a little bit of an element of like, whoa, what this is like kind of chaos. What are these guys doing? And Matthew McConaughey was describing in his book how he got whipped as a kid by his dad for putting a Cracker Jack tattoo on his body. And then he was also talking about how, as a kid in sports, he got 5 red cards. And it's just kind of like men are like drawn to these like kind of like chaotic, funny little aspects of reality. And then I was reading in the Kaylee Ledecky book, and she's talking about making gingerbread houses with her family and going on Zoom call during COVID and talking to her family 3 times a day. And I'm just like, it's like there's like a big difference between this just shows like different experiences too. Like one's a kid that grew up in Texas, one's a kid that grew up in Bethesda, Maryland, and the other guys grew up in Scotland, and it shows you like regionalism, and it's like, oh, okay, uh, there's a little bit of different experiences create different people. And it's interesting. Anyways, I'm gonna enjoy all the books. I'm gonna enjoy all the perspectives, but it's just like the woman's mind versus the men's mind. Uh, I kind of like the organization and the calmness of the woman's mind versus the kind of chaotic thing in the men's mind that seems to be prevalent in a lot of our culture. So, anyways, I'll get into another topic here. In Michio Kaku's book, he finished the book, and I finished that book, and he talks about how we have 5 billion years left in the universe to figure out how to get to another universe if there are other universes, because the solar system is going to die in about 5 billion years, and I don't know how long the universe will at least get out of the solar system, and then I'm not sure how long we have to get out of the universe itself as the universe freezes. And he talked about laser porting. A laser porting is when you take your consciousness and you send it out into a robot or an avatar, like in the movie Avatar, and the avatar is on another planet or whatever, and you go exploring around that planet, and you laser port your consciousness across the universe at light speed, which may be a little bit faster than we're capable of traveling. I don't know. Who knows what type of travel is going on in the universe, but this is just theories that are in the public domain. So I don't say that this is the truth about what's happening on covert levels. So, and he touches upon a fact that when this universe dies, life could begin anew in another universe, and we could potentially escape to another universe. So that's kind of interesting to me. I also read in my other UFO book that uh, this whole government acknowledging UFO was sort of started by Harry Reid, the senior Democratic senator, the Democratic leader in the Senate back in the early 2000s. And he started a program called AAW-SAP, which is a program to study UFOs and UFO incidents. And uh, yeah, that's kind of interesting. Now, a big senator participating in this area is Marco Rubio, but it was actually started by a lot of this was started by Harry Reid back in the early 2000s, and it's relative to an incident call which was the U.S. Nimitz or something, and it was Lou Elizondo. If you've heard of Lou Elizondo, he I guess was meeting with people in a secret garage, kind of like Deep Throat and Watergate, and so yeah, I didn't know that Carrie Reid was kind of a central figure. Okay, who's the idiot? I shared something the other day that said that only idiots, or that Athens used to, the origin of the term idiot comes from Athens, referring to people who don't participate in public affairs or politics. And so I was thinking, well, who's the idiot? Because today it seems like a lot of us that are participating in public affairs and politics are idiots, because what are we really doing? It's Democrats versus Republicans, same old, same old, same old nonsense. We're an imperial world. We're engaging in all kinds of crazy stuff as a country, and so Athens. The question is to me is like made me think like, well, was Athens advanced or is it archaic? Is democracy an advanced form of government, or is it archaic? When examining Athens, you think like, oh, that they actually had some advanced knowledge of physics and mathematics back all the way back thousands of years ago. And a lot of this knowledge that we have today in physics and mathematics is somewhat found out by philosophers way back in the ancient times. They like a lot of their basic forms of knowledge. They were in tune with something in the universe, and so it makes me think that does this imply that there's a designed intelligence to humanity and Earth? Like, are we tapping into a designed intelligence that we're able to come up with ideas that are uncovering secrets to the universe. And does that mean that there's a designed intelligence in our other structures? Like the fact that we could uncover secrets with our physics and mathematics. Does that mean our other political structures are part of a designed intelligent structure for beings in the universe? And what about democracy? Is it a blip? Is it just something that we developed a long time ago and we're working through into other areas of governance or other forms of governance? And what about God's nature? If there is a design, is is it is our form of government relative to God's nature? Like, what if the God is a crazy God? What if the God is a psycho? Does that mean our political systems are psycho? I don't know. And then of course, like, what if there's competing beings in the universe and they all have different political structures? How do we know which structure is the best structure? Now, I personally like Athens, but maybe I'm not developed. You know, maybe I like Athenian democracy as the best form of government we've ever thought of, but maybe I'm not developed, or maybe it is got to be perfected. Maybe the democratic forms have to be perfected, and it's all relative to our education, and we just have to keep educating ourselves and to advance in consciousness. And democracy could only survive if we are all elevated beings participating in a democracy. But I don't know. Anyway, so I thought that who's the idiot? I wasn't wanting to call anybody idiots, but like, maybe I'm the idiot. Uh, I don't know. Okay, that was my thing today, and I'm gonna stop.